it recording? I just can't seem to... God, can wipe an entire team but can't get a gosh darn camera to work. There we go. Hey Fresh Inklings, and welcome back to another Squid Log. My name is Ashley, and today I'll be covering a different topic. Rather than the usual topics of battle guides, I've chosen to cover a special figure that doesn't get enough attention. Her real name is unknown, so I've decided to call her Agent 3. This video is to highlight her life, from her humble beginnings to her most recent accomplishments in the modern day. So, shall we begin? Her first major appearance was back 2 years ago, back before Inkopolis Square was remodeled. According to many eyewitness accounts, she looked fairly new to the Inkling world, very unexperienced and wandering around the square aimlessly. She then disappeared from public appearance, vanishing into the sewer system after noticing an old man poking out from a manhole cover. In tracking down sources for this episode, I ran into this mysterious old squid within Octo Valley, and you'll never guess who it was. The old man was Captain Cuttlefish, the war general of the last great turf war, Captain Cuttlefish. Yeah, he's still around, and from what I learned, he's doing a lot more than kicking. When I inquired him about Agent 3, he seemed tight-lipped about the subject, swearing that he had no idea who I was talking about. But after a bit of persuasion, and an offering of fresh crab cakes, he lit up brighter than a gold salmonid and began to talk. His own words seemed to line up from what the witnesses had said about Agent 3, that she did go to him for guidance after showing up in Inkopolis. But what he spoke of next started to sound interesting. He started to describe in great detail about how Agent 3 managed to fight off the resurgence of the Octarians, that she pushed past their ranks and rescued many zapfish from their tentacles across many of their living domes. Yeah, not only is Captain Cuttlefish still alive, but the Octarians are not a mere story either, and that they were behind the mysterious disappearance of the great zapfish 2 years ago. As you may have guessed, I was skeptical. I mean, how could I not be? The Octarians are real, and we're behind the great zapfish disappearance? I instantly thought this old man must have been off his meds. Yet I decided to go with the flow, considering I had no other source to turn to. As my final question, I asked him if there was anyone else who possibly knew of Agent 3's whereabouts. While it did take a little extra encouragement, he eventually told me to find his grandchildren, Callie and Marie, the Squid Sisters. Oh yeah, the famous Squid Sisters and my role models. Yeah, I'll just go and find them. But thankfully, since I was such a good listener, Captain Cuttlefish gave me a tip to go to Octo Canyon through, what do you know, the sewer system. Taking the term getting your hands dirty to a whole new level here. Anyway, while it did take me a little while to navigate all the pipes, I did eventually make it to Octo Canyon, where Callie and Marie themselves were waiting. Despite my immediate and overwhelming excitement towards the two, they weirdly didn't seem too surprised to see me, until Marie explained that Captain Cuttlefish had given them a heads up that there were kids, aka me, looking for Agent 3. While they did initially try to turn me away from my journey, saying that my quest for answers on this hero may not be what she needs, they still helped me cover holes in my knowledge. Long ago, they were like her, agents of the new Squidbeak Splatoon, under the leadership of their grandpa, Captain Cuttlefish. They kept Inkopolis safe from the Octarians, until the great zapfish was stolen by them to power their machines. At that point, they had become giant superstars, the Squid Sisters, so they couldn't really pick back up their splatter shots and go stop them. They needed an ordinary Joe, a regular citizen, to take on the Octarian menace, which is where Agent 3 came in. She took up the mantle, while Callie and Marie, Agent 1 and 2, gave her radio support throughout her missions. They said she never lost focus during her missions, aimed dead on, tearing through Octarians like they were nothing. Man, must have been amazing to see. Sorry, getting sidetracked. After the great zapfish was returned to Inkopolis, Agent 3 left of her own accord, disappearing into the depths to go after any rogue Octarians. That was the last they ever saw of her, heading off a changed Inkling. From what the looks of what they said, it seemed as though my search for Agent 3's whole story concluded at a dead end, that she once again just disappeared without a trace. But thankfully, Marie gave me a tip-off of poking around in the subway to the right of the battle lobby, the deep-sea metroway. Trying to navigate through the abandoned tunnels while being hunted by weird blue Octarians was very stressful, but being the battle-hardened player I am, I was able to get through them to the subway stop. I got onto a train where I was greeted by the conductor, C. Cucumber. He must have seen straight through my stone-cold facade, since the second I stepped up to him, he knew I wanted to talk about Agent 3. However, unlike Callie and Marie, along with Captain Cuttlefish, Cumber was quite open about what happened to Agent 3. A few months ago, a huge fight broke out between Cumber's boss, known to the inner workers as Commander Tartar, and a test subject within the facility. An Octoling, a more advanced Inkling-like Octarian, got loose from test sites, and then a mysterious Inkling from above ground broke into the facility from the ceiling, damaged equipment, and hurt Tartar. The Inkling was identified as Agent 3 by onlookers, one of them happening to be Captain Cuttlefish himself, who had been assisting the Octoling and her escape to freedom, known as Agent 8. But once 8 had left Cuttlefish with the knocked out Agent 3, with a stunned Commander Tartar, he took control of 3, forcing her to kidnap Cuttlefish and attack 8 as she made her escape to the surface. Thankfully, Agent 8 managed to save 3 and put a stop to Commander Tartar. Where this mysterious Inkling goes next from here is unknown. Sitting back, looking at what she's done in a barely few years, is astonishing. Taking down the Octarian menace by herself? Amazing. Wherever she is now, I hope she's watching, so that she knows that there are kids out there like me thanking her for her impressive feats.